What's going on? 22 here, and you are now watching Comic Book Addicts with S Vaughn 82. What's your fix?
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another Comic Book Addicts. This is episode 66, and we are in the month of May. It's May 6th. It's Monday, starting a brand new week. We're in a brand new month, and we're almost halfway through the year, which is hard to believe. We're about a month away from being halfway through the year already, and that's crazy to me. But anyways, I hope that you guys are having a great day so far, and thank you for tuning in. We got an awesome guest tonight, but I want to talk about a few things first, a few things that have happened in the past week and here in the last couple of days. First off, we had some awesome comic books come out this past week. We had Blood Hunt. The event kicked off. I've been waiting on this event for a little while, so it finally kicked off, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And what did you guys think? Are you enjoying Blood Hunt so far? And do you plan on picking it up? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, there was a bunch of good books released. We had free comic book day this past week, and I hope you guys were able to get out and do all the things that you wanted to do and have a good time and spend some money in these shops. I know I met up with a buddy from work, my buddy Jimmy Brown. We met up and we hit B&M Amusement, we hit Second and Charles, we hit Infinity Flux, we hit Epicos at Northgate, and we even hit the public library because I didn't know if you may not know this, but the public library sometimes carries free comic book day books. So check your public library. But we had a lot of fun, and I got a picture here. There's me and Jimmy on the left-hand side, and me and Matt, who is actually a YouTuber himself, Bumpkins TV. If you've never checked him out, he does a lot of comic book reviews and a lot of content with Infinity Flux. But got to say hi to him and got to hang out with my buddy Jimmy. I also got to meet up with artist Andy Duggan, who did the cover and interior artwork for Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures, which is one of the bigger books from Free Comic Book Day. So I was super happy for him. I just thought that was really awesome. And when I heard that he was doing this, I'm like, dude, I've got to go to Infinity Flux and get him to sketch on the cover for me. So I met up with him and got his signature and got him to do the sketch on there. So that was awesome. That was my goal, was to spend some money in the shops and have fun with some friends and meet up with Andy and get that done. So that was really cool. Had a great time, and I hope that you guys did too. Monday also means Monday Night Lineup. Unfortunately, Izzy is feeling under the weather this evening, so Izzy did not do the Comic Book Weekly pull list. He'll be back next Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And Between the Lines will also be canceled for this evening, but they will be back next week. So rest assured, they will be back next week, y'all. But the rest of the lineup's still here. We got Council of Comics, who will be going at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and 22 Comics at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as Will Cup O Comics at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to check out all these awesome live streams. Let's see what we got in the chat. See who all is in the chat. Did you guys have a good free comic book day? Let me know. Were you able to get all the books that you wanted? We got Las Crucias first in the chat. He says, hooray, woohoo. And let's go, love this. Oh, that's Vogs. My bad. He says, let's go, love this show. Thanks for showing up, Las Crucias, and thank you, Vogs, man. I appreciate you. There's Las Crucias saying hello from New Mexico. Did you guys get all the books that you wanted to get? Did you guys have a good time? Did you go to any artist signings? Did you get to do anything cool this past week? Let me know. We got Tony, Comiverse. He says, good evening, everyone. What's up, Tony? Thank you for making it out, man. He says, hey, Scott, shop. Hashtag let's get shopped, and we're going to tonight, my friend. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna bring him out here in just a few minutes. We got Phil from Phil's Treehouse. He says, oh my god, Scotty and Shop together on stage. Absolutely, dude. It's gonna be so much fun. I've been waiting to talk to Shop for a good while. I've been waiting to get him on a live stream. I'm looking forward to this. He's an awesome artist, and he's always pushing other people. So I feel like it's his night. We're gonna push Shop tonight. We're gonna push the Shopverse tonight. Brian LCS is in the house. He says, happy Monday. What's going on, Brian? Thank you for coming out. I hope that you had a great free comic book day. I saw that he actually went to Augusta, the Augusta Book Exchange with Mark and a couple of other friends and members of the community. Looks like they had a good time. We got Wellbore. What's up, man? Thanks for coming out. But I hope you had a good time, Brian, and I hope that you had a good time as well, Wellbore. We got Frog Brawler. My homie Frog is in the house. He says, good evening. Good evening, Frog Brawler. Thank you for showing up and hanging out with us tonight, my friend. We got Dr. Hoot. Hoot is in the house. He says, evening all the way over across the pond in the UK, however you want to say it. Thank you for coming out and hanging out with us, man. Let's see. We got Vogue saying Las Crucias Frog. He's saying hi to everybody. Skimming down through the chat. We got Circumstances, my comic brother. He says, we want shop. We want shop. Absolutely, man. We're going to bring him out here in just a few minutes. Just skimming through. We got Beckerman saying, I'm here to support my fellow Iowan. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for coming out to show your support, Beckerman. I appreciate it, man. He also says, hashtag Hawkeye State. Really cool. We got the Jimplication saying, here we are together again, screaming into the void. Absolutely. And thank you for coming out to hang out with us this evening, man. Thank you so much. Skimming through the chat. I went, unfortunately, I didn't get Avengers or Spider-Man. I wanted those. I went day after Free Comic Book Day. I don't have an extra one of those. I thought I had an extra one of those at first. I think I have an extra of the Ultimate book, but sorry to hear that, man. I wasn't able to get a couple of the books that I wanted, but it's okay. I had fun and I accomplished my main goal. Beckerman says, I'll give you a short clothesline on my way to buy Sprite, Marcus. Uh-oh. Sounds like trouble in the chat. We got Dr. Fawn Hoot saying, went to a bunch of London comic shops and met up with Triple G, Hydra Collectibles, and One Good Scare for way too many drinks and sprained my ankle running for a train. Was a good time. That sounds like a good time, man. You got to be more careful. Don't want to see you hurting yourself out there, but I'm glad to hear that you had a good time with good friends. I actually watch Triple G sometimes on YouTube. I try to catch his live streams whenever I see them. And seems like a really cool dude. And so glad to hear that you had a good time. Skimming down through here. Circumstances, Sharon, Brian LCS. Brian will actually be on Comic Book Addicts in 3 weeks to talk about his new title. But thank you for sharing that, man. Thank you so much. But yes, Brian LCS does have the Kickstarter. So everybody, if you haven't already supported it, head on over and support it. There's the link that Marcus provided. And thank you for providing that, Marcus. Comic Cap Collectible says, yo, hello all. Hey, Scotty. What's up, dude? What's up, Rich? Thank you for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. See, Vogs. We got Comic Cap. Vogs will be hanging out next week. We're going to do an open panel. I'll mention that in just a second. We got Tony saying, I didn't get Absolute Power, but it was my own fault for forgetting to look. Yeah, I don't think I got that one either. Chris, the comic vet, he says, what up, fam? Chris, thank you for coming out, man. I know you're normally working on Monday around this time. Thank you for spending time with us and showing up. Let's see, Vogue saying hi to Chris. We got Collecting with Durs. He says, look at this gathering of pimps and legends. My homie Durs, thank you for coming out, bro. I really appreciate you. I hope that you had a great Free Comic Book Day. Looks like you, I saw that you put up a video showing your haul. I'm going to go over and check it out after this is over. And, but I hope that you had a great Free Comic Book Day. Skimming down through here. We got Alan Crabtree. Thanks for joining us, Alan Crabtree. What are you most excited for this summer? Me personally, I'm excited for this Blood Hunt event because I do enjoy a good comic book event. So I'm looking forward to some good events, and I'm looking forward to some good movies. I'm looking forward to this the Deadpool movie that'll be coming out soon. But what are you looking forward to this summer? Let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to this summer. Skimming through, trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. I think we pretty much got the chat. I wanted to mention again that Between the Lines, they will not be going tonight. But Council of Comics will be going at 8 o'clock, as well as 22 Comics at 9 p.m. Eastern Time with his top 10 alternatives, and Will, Cup Comics with Monday Night Raw books at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, rounding out the night. So be sure to check out those guys. And next week on Comic Book Addicts, I'm going to actually do a rare open panel. I don't normally do open panels on this live stream. I try to do guest interviews and things like that. But I thought it would be fun to change it up, and I like to do so every now and then. And we're going to do an open panel, open discussion next week. So anybody that wants to come out and hop on the panel and hang out on Comic Book Addicts is welcome to join. So come back next Monday for that. And then the Monday after that, we will have Black Box Comics, which I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Black Box Comics, but they are a fire comic book imprint. They put out some amazing titles. Recently, they dropped Biomex issue 1, which was really good. They got Dream Master, which is a Jonathan Hedrick title. Really, really good title. But I'm looking forward to having Black Box Comics on the channel here in a couple weeks. So I hope that you guys will tune in for that. God, man, forgot to cut my phone off and it's going crazy. Let me mute this. Sorry about that, guys. I almost always have my phone on mute. Okay. All right. Anyways, I'm about to bring the guest out, but I want to jump into one thing that I started doing here a couple of weeks back. Let me click this comment off real quick. I always forget to click the stupid comments off, and now it freezes on me. Let me get the comments back up here. Sorry about this, guys. Boom. There we go. Like I was saying, I'm going to bring the guest out, but I want to jump into this new segment that I started doing a couple of weeks ago that I like to call YouTube polls. This is where I ask you guys different questions every week on YouTube, comic book related questions, and see what you guys say. So for poll number 1 this week, this was about Blood Hunt. It says the new Marvel crossover event, Blood Hunt, is here. Are you going to be grabbing everything? Or are you reading just the main story? Or are you passing on it altogether? Let me know down below. So I was curious, how many of you guys are ready for this new Blood Hunt event? And out of 38 votes, 18% of you said yes, they are all in, including the tie-ins. 29% of you said yes, but only the main series, the main Blood Hunt books. And an astounding 53% of you said nope, not doing another Marvel event. So over half of you decided to opt out of the newest Marvel event, which I don't blame you. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. It can be a lot. There's over 60 issues with all the tie-ins and everything. So it does get a little bit crazy. I just love these big events. I'm a big collector, and I just like these type of events. Poll number 2, I asked, I said it was a slightly lighter week this new comic book day, but we still had some great books. My question this week for you is, which of these covers is your favorite cover of the week? And I also said, if your cover isn't listed here, let me know in the comments. Now, 16% of you picked Hulk 12, the Justin Mason cover. 45% of you picked Blood Hunt issue 1, the Art Germ cover, which really didn't surprise me. That's a beautiful tiger cover. Deadpool Wolverine issue 1, the Liefeld cover, got 21%. And Spider-Woman issue 7, the Peach Momoko cover, which is a little bit of a key right now. It's on hot lists, got 18%. So Blood Hunt issue 1, the Art Germ tiger cover, got number 1 cover of the week, 45%. So really good cover. That was a great cover. It was a little bit lighter of a week, like I said, but still some pretty good covers. Let's bring the guest out, though, man. I've been stalling long enough. We got an awesome guest tonight. I need to get him out here. But anyways, our guest this evening is a comic book collector, a teacher, and a community artist. And I say community artist because Shop has pretty much drawn he's pretty much drawn the whole entire comic book community, and there are a lot of us, and still continuing to add members all the time. Very talented person, and always selflessly promoting others in the community. So tonight, let's hang out with Shop. Let's celebrate Shop. Y'all help me welcome Shop for Comics.
Hey, Scotty.
What's up,
thank
brother?
you. And not much. Say thanks for that intro. That's very gracious of you. So
oh yeah, man, dude, you're always promoting other people in the community. Every time you do a new addition to the Shopverse, it comes with a shout out attached, and you're always promoting other people and putting other people ahead of your own IG. And I really think that that's a really cool, selfless thing that you do. I just think that you're a great dude, and couldn't wait to get you on here to hang out with you, man.
See, and I don't care. Like, it could be somebody with 5,000 followers, it could be somebody with 100. Like, as long as it's just anybody that like I can find, I try to get them in
Yeah,
something. So
absolutely. Yeah, that's the coolest part about it. It can be the smallest YouTube channel, a brand new YouTube channel, all the way up to like your Comics with Bueller's and Comic Toms and people like that. So everybody's included, which has been great.
Chris.
What's up, Chris? Yeah, man, we got the chats popping off. Thanks for joining us, guys. But anyways, man, I hope you're doing well this evening. How's your week been? Did you have a good free comic book day? Did you get to get out and get any books this week?
Yes, I did. I went out and picked up quite a few of the free comic books also, but I also picked up this. I don't know what print this is because I haven't read it yet. I got the first issue, the first print, and then all of a sudden it blew up. I'm like, I don't want to read it. I'm just gonna leave it in the sleeve. I'll just wait till I have a chance to pick up that. So I just read it the other day. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I've been getting all the other ones also though. So so I can read them. So I've got 1 through 4 already. So now I can just start reading it. Yeah.
So what did you think? What are your thoughts on issue 1? I think it pretty much everybody's had time to read
different storyline. Like it brings back it still gives you that old Peter feel, but like a grown up, but being close to his age now, it's even like now you're connected again. It's like you've been connected when you're a kid. Now you're connected again as an adult because now he's a grown adult and stuff. So
absolutely, he's a husband. He has children, and he's dealing with real life issues, much like us. So yeah,
I don't do a lot of new stories or books also. So like the only other time I got into the new one is the Spider Shadow. That was the last time I got into like collecting the like new issues and stuff. So
cool.
Yeah.
So you collect more older stuff?
More older from the 80s, back when I was younger, trying to get some things. Like I lost a short box at some point. I'm trying to see if I can find some of the old books I had, and I just like those stories back then. So
yeah, I don't blame you. I do too. That's probably my favorite era to collect in is the 80s. So tell us a little bit about yourself for anybody that may not be familiar. I think most people are, but in case anybody is not, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where do you currently reside? What do you like to do for fun? What are you into collecting?
Okay.
It's kind of a lot to unpack at once.
Yeah, I'm shop for comics. I just kind of started back in the early 2010s, somewhere in the teens. I can't remember when that was when I got back in, and I was kind of like not really lurking because I didn't have a YouTube. I was just watching everyone else, and then I finally got into it like everyone else around COVID. But I was really trying to get that collection. When I first came back, I was like on a sprint. I wasn't training like a marathon. I wish I should have, but I just sprinted through and tried to get the collection.
I think we all were, man. I was too. I dove head first into speculation.
And I was just glad it happened before COVID hit, because I was like, I got all the ones I needed that were major and stuff. So now I'm just like kind of just cruising on kind of what I like now and stuff. So
really cool.
But then I also, like I said, I look for 80s books mainly. 90s are great too. And I'm trying to think. I got into comics first as something that was hard for me to read as a kid. Like, so comics were an easy way for me to get into reading and stuff like that. So it's just an easy way to progress in school and stuff like that. It was just another source for me to kind of express my difficulty and stuff like that. So
that makes sense. Yeah, it was for me as well. So I agree with you there. I always enjoyed comic books. They were just easier to pick up and understand because you had the pictures to go with them.
Yeah,
pictures can tell you a lot alone. So it definitely helped a lot being a younger kid.
Got to give a shout out to like Beckerman, like I said, Iowa. That's where I'm located in Iowa. So, and I know he's from the area, so we go back and forth sometimes, talk about the Hawkeyes and stuff like that. So,
what's up? Shout out Beckerman, Iowa, and shout out Roscoe. Thank you for joining us, man.
Hey, Roscoe.
But yeah, Beckerman was saying, I think he said hashtag Hawkeyes.
Hawkeye State,
yeah.
We don't talk about the other college. We'll talk about the Hawkeyes. That's the one we want to focus on. So,
gotcha. Well, you obviously are a comic book collector as well as an artist. But what got you? You were saying, well, you just said what got you into comic books. Do you remember the exact book that got you collecting?
Yeah, I kind of go back and forth a lot. Like, trying to remember, it's hard, like those many years ago, as people could say, but there was 2 books, X-Men book and Spidey book. Both were the ones that kind of got me into it.
Nice.
The X-Men book that got me into comics was probably this one. This
Very cool.
cover is amazing. I think that's what got me, is just the cover. And then I bought it, and then the storyline of Fall of the Mutants was at that time, my favorite storyline of the Mutants. Like, it was incredible. And just the way they wrote the X-Men at that time. And so
very cool.
And that was my first introduction to Wolverine also with his stuff. And they wrote Wolverine really, I thought, through the Fall of the Mutants, he was really good through that stuff. So,
oh man, I remember me and my friends back in the 90s, we would fight over who got to pretend they were Wolverine when we were playing around, because he was the most badass that you could get back then. Him and Punisher.
Say Colossus was the other one in the team, like just that, like he was the Boy Scout, he wanted to do good, he was really like kind with his strength. He didn't know, like he knew how strong he was, but he was like trying to be a gentle giant almost with everyone.
Colossus is a great character.
Yeah.
What are some of your other favorite characters?
Of course, Spider-Man. That was the other book. So the other book about that same time was, of course, the 300 issue. That was the one.
That's an awesome book.
That was the one that got me. Yeah, like I said, I really go back and forth between those two books. Were the ones that I just reread those two books like over and over and over again. Like they're creased and all that. So, but
nice. Who would you say was your favorite artist on Spider-Man? Who do you like to see do Spider-Man the most?
Since McFarlane got me into it, I'll say McFarlane. He got me into it. I do like Romita Sr.
Yeah.
With the early Spider-Man, I like when I got back into collecting, I wanted to get all of his books too that he did. But I'd say Todd McFarlane and Romita Sr. are the top two.
I think that would be the same with me as well. I think those are my favorite too. I like those are definitely my favorite too, actually. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So Bagley, he was good when he came in. I kind of was more standoffish when he first came in, but then like he really did really good with Spider-Man, I thought. So
yeah. Well, so you said that you got back in pre-COVID, and let's see, I ask you favorite characters. What are some of your favorite villains? What would you say? Because Manny was just talking about, obviously his favorite is Hobgoblin. He also likes
Jack-o'-lantern. Like which
is another really cool obscure villain.
He's that's really good. I brought that book out here to talk about Jack-o'-lantern too. Like we go back and forth, Manny and I, sometimes about how we like him, and he's kind of like everyone forgets about him. They always focus on the Hobgoblin and all those other ones, but Jack-o'-lantern, his look I thought was really cool.
I definitely think
it's green and yellow and orange. All that was really good.
It looks really cool. Yeah. I bought the action figure of him a couple months ago.
I remember.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. Yeah, I couldn't wait to get that one just because his design is so cool. Yeah, it's a really cool, very cool obscure villain.
Yeah, of course, Venom, like the original Venom with Todd McFarlane and how he came in, and just he's built like a brick shit house. Like when Todd brought him in, like he was just the thickest guy you could see, because he had to rely on just normal human strength. So he just bulked up, and then Venom, of course, gave him that more advantage with his strength. So
yeah, Venom was so cool when he first came out. Still is cool to this day. Still one of my favorite characters. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the saying is collect what you love. What is it that you love to collect?
I love like we said, 80s X-Men, that one, and any Spider-Man, any Spider-Man Volume 1, because that's kind of where I was at when I first started collecting, was in Volume 1. And when I got back, I was like, my goal was to just get 1 through 441, get that Volume 1, because that's kind of where I remember the most collecting and spending time with my dad at the time too, before he passed away. Like he would get behind me with comics and stuff like that. So
very cool.
It just brought up a lot of memories back with that. So Volume 1, Spider-Man, any some Silver Age keys are okay, but I love X-Men 80s, I think, the most.
So how far along have you came with collecting those?
Well, I've finished through the ASM. I've got my issue 1 is the golden record, but I have issue 1 through 441. So I've got all of those.
Wow.
Some are coverless. That's at the time to try to get those books, but
But it's complete though. You have them all.
Yep, got them all. And I don't mind. Like, I would love to have the cover, of course, but as long as the story's complete in the book, I mean, sometimes they take those points away from it, like, but the stories hold all there. Just the cover's gone. I'm like, the whole story's there. So,
dude, bravo, man! I can't believe you managed to. Wow, dude, that's pretty cool. And just to have it complete, man, coverless or not, like with. For example, this is a much smaller run, but Dazzler issue 1 through 42. Yep. I just wanted a copy of each one at first. I can upgrade each copy later. So you can always try to find a better copy later on. You never know.
Say low grade better than no grade. Rather have it than not. As all those old sayings. So
absolutely. Well, do you collect predominantly raw, or do you collect any graded books? Or
I've got some graded books. I usually will send mine out to get graded, but I have collected some graded. When I look at a raw and see that there's a graded book for some reason that's about the same price, I'm like, I'm going to buy the graded book probably over the raw at the same price. So I've only done that like probably 5 times. I've come across a book that's been like between a 5 or a 7, but for some reason it's the same price as a raw. I'm like, I'm going to get the graded book, so I know for sure that's what the grade is. So.
Right, that makes sense.
So like, one of my examples, like I got a ROM 1 for the same price as I was looking at a raw 4. I was like, well, I'll get the graded one. So
yeah, man, of course. We got E-Man. What's up, dude?
Hey,
Thank you for coming out. Had a couple people pop in just now. Thanks for coming out, guys. Well, do you have an LCS, or you don't do? You were saying you don't really do new comic book day every week. You don't do modern books too much, right?
But when I do go out and stuff around here, we have what's called Daydreams Comics, and I gave them a shout out on my IG the other day because they did a pretty good little event. They're a tiny store, but they had a lot of good promotions going on. It was 20% off in the store for everything that was in the store. So.
Daydreams Comics.
Daydreams Comics, yeah.
What part of Iowa did you say?
It was Iowa City is where Daydreams is located. So right by the university down there. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's that? Sorry.
Oh no. I'll let you finish. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Whenever I go out, I'll go down there first and see what they maybe have, and then I'll go on eBay, look at those old books and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. I always try to support the shops first before I look for something online. Vox wanted to know what made you start up the Shopverse, and I was actually going to ask you something similar when we got, but we'll go ahead and go there. You do this amazing artwork, and guys, if you've never checked it out, you can find it at Shop for Comics on IG, and he does these amazing pieces of every member of the community you can think of, and still adding some every day. Really cool stuff. I actually have an example I can throw up on the screen really quick to show you guys a piece that I had done for me, which was really cool. I'll put up on the screen here. But this is an example of what he does, and he took me and put me on a classic Avengers cover. And I was Kang the Conqueror, and he made me Kang, and he takes all the members of the community and does this really cool thing he calls the Shopverse. And how did that start? Where did that start from? How did that all start up?
Well, I first started drawing a lot. Like I like to draw, and a lot of times I would just draw from like cover. Like I tried to copy a cover a lot as a kid. Like I just put the cover next to me and see if I can draw the same way on the cover. That's how most of my art is done. Is like that copy draw. Just to see if
I've heard a lot of people have told me, a lot of artists I've had on here have told me that same thing, that they used to do that when they were kids.
Yeah. I still do a little bit sometimes if I need a little help with things. And like when I did something for Chris a little while ago too. I did like the old Crave the Hunter issue. So like Spidey coming out of the grave. So I kind of looked at the cover and tried to make that. So I know he likes Crave the Hunter.
I see it now. He's coming up out of the grave.
It's a little light. So sometimes if I still like to do paper and pencil, so then I'll draw it and then I'll scan it into my iPad and use Procreate. That's what I mainly use is Procreate through the iPad.
So you are not. So I just figured you did it all on pad. So you're actually sketching it out first.
I'm doing it all on the pad now with the Shopverse and stuff. But when we first started the Shopverse. When I first started the Shopverse, I sketched it out on paper and pencil. Now that I've got like all these preset bodies, I can kind of like move things around how I want it to be shaped, and
that
like
makes
that
sense.
stuff.
That makes
But
sense. I'm
originally
a little
started.
slow when it comes to this stuff. I'm a little slow when it comes to this
Oh
stuff.
no,
So.
I'm just trying. I doodle. I say I'm more of a doodler, I think, sometimes. So
I
why
think
is
it's really
punching?
cool. What gave you the idea to start doing it? Like, what made you start doing the first
Okay.
one?
I did a couple of times just for like I did a really old one for Rob one time, and for Mr. Comics 89, I did something for them. And then for some reason I wanted to give Chris the Comic Vet a shout out for his 1,000 subscriber giveaway.
Oh,
And I
cool.
really liked how it turned out. So then I'm like, can I do one for somebody else? And then I got a couple people saying, oh, what's the next one? So then I'm like, I just kept rolling with it and
Just
like
snowballed.
snowballed into it. And I really liked the fact once I started trying to see what other people liked, I tried to make it a surprise at first.
Yeah.
The first, when I got to like over 200, like, I don't know if I can surprise people because I don't, they might like something else that somebody else likes. So I always try to have something different. I mean, there's some repeats, like Spider-Man's got so many different costumes. Batman has so many different costumes.
Yeah.
So like, it's nice to do that. And just to give shout outs to people that deserve it. Like, I think to help promote everyone else is a great thing, as people do. Just my way of giving back. And just, like I said, I love to like doodle in the free time and just kind of see what I can create with the iPad. So sorry, I'm just reading something in the chat too.
Oh no, you're good, man. I was just thinking of all the different characters that you've done, and it must be it's got to be getting kind of hard to come up with which I mean there are unlimited amounts of characters, but you've done so many, man. How long does it take you now to like think of one that you haven't done yet? How long do you have to
It takes
think
a long time. There's like, if I have to go back and look sometimes, like did I do this one or did I not do it? Like it takes a while to think about one I haven't done, or a costume. Like I said, like, did I do this costume for Batman? Did I do this one for Spidey? Or almost any character has multiple costumes, which is great, because if they like somebody else, I could just do a different version of that one and stuff. So
because I mean, like you've done everybody that I can think of in the community, and like I said, you're still adding them all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's just so cool. The background, I used some of the characters for the background, and that's just like just a very small portion of the ones that you've done.
I think we're at almost 270, somewhere maybe 260, 270, somewhere around there right now. So
that is really cool.
Community members, not all different characters, but of course community members, we're at about 250, 260. So
hey Phil, thanks for joining us.
And it keeps evolving too.
Do what now?
It keeps evolving too. Like I started doing those covers like you showed. Like then I'm like, then how can like the covers take the longest to do, because then I'm trying to like find images I can try to cover, like cover up Kang on yours. How can I cover up Kang but still have you in the same thing? And so
it's so cool because, you know, if you're somebody that's watching right now and you have a favorite comic book cover, you have a favorite book, he could put you on the cover of your favorite book very easily. And
some people have done it for like just surprise, like I've surprised people with the covers, just put them on IG because I'm like, oh, I think this character would be fun to do. So I'm like, I'm going to throw this person on there quick.
And they all look so cool. Yeah, they all turn out so good, man. Brian, thank you, man. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Oh, Jersey, yeah. I'll get that to you, buddy. I just saw his comment.
I was actually going to ask you. I had this written in my questions later, but I saw Frog was asking, do you ever use AI? I was going to ask you your thoughts on AI. How do you feel about AI being applied to art?
I mean, it turns out amazing. Sometimes I'm like, it looks really good, looks really clean.
So you're okay with the use of AI in artwork?
If somebody wants to, like, I really like to do. I like to see if I can create something. What am I able to try to make, and how can I now I'm kind of like, I love that little almost cartoon look they get the more you put them together with other people and stuff like that. So
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Some people feel really harshly about AI. They're like, well, a lot of artists are really against AI, actually. Dr. Von Hoot says, when Shop did mine, I was so blown away that he'd even think of me. It's still one of my favorite things that's happened since I launched my channel.
Oh,
that's how I felt too, man. I was honored.
Thank you. So, and some of them are really great. Like, he was just a natural to put in. I know he talked about the power bomb. And so I'm like, once I heard that, I'm like, well, maybe I could put him into that. And so,
I remember seeing that one. That one turned out amazing. Yeah, that was really cool. Vog says, shop. I asked no rush on IG if you can do him as Christian Bale. So, Christian Bale Batman
costume.
So, have you ever done that costume?
No, I haven't done the Bale costume. I could try that one out.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
we got Kyle. What's up, Kyle? Thanks for joining us, man. Hope you're having a great evening.
No, but it's just been a fun little just side activity for me to not really kill time, but like just to explore what I could do and just to see what heroes we can find. Like, it's just a fun thing to do. Also, just like, what hero can I find? What villain? I kind of do little feelers too sometimes during live streams. I'll say, like, oh, who do you like? And like, that's my way of like finding out who can I draw you as instead of just finding out. So
hinting around so you can surprise them.
Oh yeah, He-Man, my Aquaman.
Let's see. Oh, we got a question. Alan Crabtree asked, are you watching X-Men 97? Are you watching X-Men 97, Shop?
Oh yeah. I've been thinking, even the filler episodes, I mean, there's 2 or 3, but those filler episodes still provide enough story and great content. It's not like a normal filler episodes that you just throw it away. You can't just throw them away. They're pretty good episodes still. So
I'm not all the way up to date, but I'm up through episode 7 and I love it. It's one of the best things I've watched in a long time.
Totally agree. The Marvel's hitting out of the park with it, and you don't have to watch the old series, but you can go back and watch it. Still ties in, but anybody watching it coming in new can just enjoy it.
Absolutely. Well, as far as comic book collecting, what are your goals for collecting right now? What are you looking for? What's on your hunt list?
My hunt list is getting a few more of those older X-Men books now that I got Spidey, got that done. But also, I'll always go look for Spidey, like you said, see if I can upgrade some of the Spidey books. Like I showed some books to you earlier about upgrading some of the Spidey keys that I got through Iron Line of Zion. If anybody ever follows him, he's a great seller on IG.
Yeah, which was new to me. I'm gonna go check them out.
Yeah,
definitely go follow them after the show.
So updating some Spidey books, X-Men books. I just picked up Jubilee. I didn't have Jubilee, but I loved the first
appearance.
Yeah, first appearance. Yeah, I just picked her first appearance up, and
that's a good one.
When she met Wolverine for the first time, that's one of my. I pulled that out here. Where did I put that at?
Oh, you got it out. Nice.
So one of the first times she ever meets him is in this issue.
That's
and this cover is one of my favorite covers too, of the X-Men covers. And
I was watching a video earlier today. I think it was a Comic Tom video, believe it or not, and they were pointing out that in Magneto in the X-Men 97 series, the way they had him nailed up on, it was like homaging that cover.
Oh yeah. He just I just reread it like a few months ago, and just seeing him, like, it's just downpouring, raining as he's like ripping himself off the cross, and he looks over to Jubilee like, "Are you going to help me or not?" Like, it's really good when they first meet together and stuff, and then they go off searching for the other X-Men after the Siege Polaris incident. It's just, I love that storyline too, where they go searching for the other characters.
I can remember reading that one when I was younger. I have that book somewhere. I need to go back through it because that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Geek Out with Rosca saying hi to people. We got sis. Can't wait for him to be on the show either. Let's see. Just skimming through reading what people are saying. Let's see. I ask you what your current goal are. I ask you your thoughts about. Let's see.
One goal I'll point out was to get Rob Liefeld's signature book. I just picked that up this week.
Ooh,
I wanted to get a chiseled one. So I'm like, I got and I wanted one with a Deadpool on it, since he I just picked up also this. I got a Deadpool, the first appearance a few months ago, and so I got this. Let me grab this down.
Yes, man, that is awesome.
So then I picked up this Liefeld signed book.
Yes. Yes, the chiseled signature in red and white too. That's badass, dude. That looks so good.
I just want to make sure that there was a Deadpool on it, and having having a Spidey related character is not that bad either on the same cover. It being a Spidey fan, so having the two together, and
that is so kick ass, man. That's a really cool book.
I'll just put those two together. Usually, if they're up, I just have them out right now for a while since I'm like I gotta display those two. So
I love that chiseled signature that he does too.
Yeah.
That's really cool looking.
Yeah.
I like when artists do that. Greg Horn does it too. Greg Horn has like a variation of his signature that's really cool that he does. It's kind of like a chiseled effect. But good stuff. What are your thoughts on Uncanny X-Men? Alan wants to know.
I guess my only thing, like I said, I collect older books. So the Fall of the Mutants is one of the best. My favorite Inferno is or my favorite storylines. Because that's what was out when I was reading at the time. And I love some early X-Men with Colossus and Longshot
I love Longshot.
He's my top three. Like it'd be like Wolverine, Colossus, and Longshot are my top three for me.
That's cool. I got his first appearance a couple of weeks ago. Longshot. I got Longshot #1 finally a couple of weeks ago.
I picked that up a long time ago, and a lucky thing I stumbled upon the whole series 1 through 6, all signed by Arthur Adams.
What?
And I picked those each are all signed. The last one has a remark of a star on the eye, and I'm like, I had to pick those up. I had to pick those up, and I just think he's a cool character they could easily introduce to the MCU. And if they want a new villain to bring in, I mean, you bring in Mojo, that's going to be a whole different like environment and world that you can develop. So
could you see them bringing Longshot in? Do you think that's a possibility?
I hope so, but like they've already brought in Domino, so I'm like you're gonna have 2 luck power people, but I'm like they have multiple people in there too. So, but
see, Dr. DVH says Nikki 9.5 has set up a new channel. Okay, so is that this link? Is this the link for Nikki 9.5's new channel? Let me know in the comments.
Card collector.
Awesome. So yeah, everybody, we got to make sure we're subscribed to this guy. Of course, we got to support each other. If you're not subscribed, at some point, click over and hit that sub button. Let's see, Brian LCS saying hi to 25 Perez. Okay. Let's see, I ask you your goals. Oh, I got a good one for you. Okay. If you had unlimited resources to create your own comic book, what creative team would you put on the book? What would be the artist and writer that you put on your dream book? You have unlimited money, so you can hire anybody.
Claremont would be a great writer to have a Claremont and Stan Lee team up as writers together and see what they can come up with.
Yeah,
for 2 writers. Bring Stan Lee back when he was his younger development with the universe he created. Artist, I'll take Todd when he was in the 90s.
Nice.
So I'll go back in time and grab him out of the 90s, because I loved his Peter Parker. I loved his Mary Jane at the time and stuff. So
now, okay, you have that team. What type of book would you put that team on?
I'd probably do some type of team. Like, I don't know if I just do individual hero. I'd probably try to have a team of, like, I love Spider-Man. I love him by himself. I love that story. But a team, you can kind of develop more different storylines and see, you can dive into different characters' histories and things like that. So
I like that. Yeah, that's a good answer. Well, let's see. I ask you what the book would be about. What's a comic book that you feel is underrated and undervalued?
Oh, as we were just saying, Longshot. Everyone needs to get a Longshot.
I agree.
Get that Longshot 1 and 3. If you don't want the whole series, get Longshot 1, Longshot 3. First Mojo, first Longshot.
Yeah, and great covers too. They're both Arthur Adams, correct?
Yeah, both. Yep.
Yeah,
and they're very they're very easy to grab for a great value for high. They're for like 9s or higher, you can get those pretty cheap even still. So,
oh, sweet.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one to pick up. I think Dazzler #1. It's caught a little boost. It caught a little boost with the Taylor Swift stuff.
They bring Dazzler and they got to bring Longshot, right? I mean, those two are together. Like those are the same couple as Rogue and Gambit. Those two go together very well.
And their story is so weird. The way it's so weird, but I don't know. Yeah, they do go together though, so it would make sense.
It's hard to have a little love triangle, but they brought in their kid, right? In Deadpool 2, isn't that his kid? Their kid,
Shatterstar.
Yeah, is that their kid?
Shatterstar? I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So like,
I don't know. I get it confused because the story's so weird. I just remember it's a really weird situation. I don't know. I have to go back and. But I think I always thought that Dazzler #1 was, which it's got a little boost in, so it's getting a little love now. But I always thought that was one for sure. What do you guys think? Y'all got any? What's a good undervalued, underrated comic book? Let me know in the comments. And Roscoe, I know you said you had to go, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
I
Roscoe.
appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming out, man. Everybody's saying bye to Roscoe. Alan Crabtree asks, what's your Mount Rushmore for classics? Your choice for issues, heroes, artists, writers, etc. So what is your Mount Rushmore for classics?
I'll say heroes. Spider-Man's got to be up there. He's going to be my one. Batman. I'm not huge with DC, but like he draws me in if I'm going to catch anything with DC, and just how he changes with everything, how he just holds himself to a standard. I mean, him and Spider-Man are very similar. One has money, one doesn't, and it's just the way they hold the line usually with what they believe in. So
nice.
And then Superman's got to be up there. And I don't know the fourth one. Ooh, that'd be tough. How about we'll put the fourth one will be a collage of Team X-Men.
Team X-Men. I like it.
We'll
there you go.
Team X-Men as a collage.
There you go. Great answer. And E-Man had an answer for my last question. He said win #1 from Tynan is underrated in his opinion.
Okay.
Now, I've heard a lot of good things about Wind. I never had an opportunity to pick up because by the time I had heard about it, it had already taken off in price. So I don't know. Maybe I could find a trade for that. But I have heard a lot of good things about Wind.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man, The Lost Years, issue 1. I actually have that. I have a couple of copies of that. Janine Godby first appearance, Hallows Eve. Okay. Yes, that's like a $10 book, but yeah, maybe it should be worth more. That's a good answer, Hoot. It's a good one. And it's also a beautiful foil cover. It's got some really nice shiny red foil on the cover, so that's always a plus.
Nothing wrong with foils. That too was a great 80s and 90s gimmick. I mean, those foils were.
What would you say? What's a gimmick you're a sucker? Are you a sucker for any gimmicks? First off, and if you are, what's the one that gets you?
I do like the holograms of the Spideys. They definitely got me. I'm like, if I can upgrade some of those, that's definitely what I'm going to look for. Like I've got all 4 of those, but I'd love to have those in higher quality. My Amazing Spider-Man, it's a good quality, but the other 3, if I can get those better, that will pull me in.
The only one I actually have multiples of each one of those, except for the black one, and I think that's the Amazing Spider-Man.
That's the black one.
That's the only one I'm missing. I have duplicates of the rest of them. I think I even have second prints of some of the other ones.
Okay,
because there was
they were so thick too. Like they would always have that little corner tear at the top because they're just such a thick folded.
I know, man. I know it, and but yeah, there is one little tip about those. If it's got like a silverish hologram, it's a first print, and if it's got a goldish tint hologram, it's a second print.
Ooh, okay.
So that's how you can tell first and second prints on those.
I have to see which one I got. I got 2. I'll have to check that out.
You probably have first prints, but I do. I found second prints that have the goldish hologram.
Okay.
Yeah, Frog Brawler saying that Kang 5 book run from a few years back is very underrated. Okay. Is it the Timeless run? Are you talking about the Timeless or the actual Kang? Are you talking about the actual Kang run? Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was good. That was really good. The Timeless series is always good too when they put those out.
What's up, Tony?
What's up, dude? Had to step away. You're good, man. Installing a new toilet seat.
Yeah.
So was it an upgrade or just a replacement? Did you upgrade the toilet seat, or was it just a replacement?
Yeah.
Okay, so you used to have both sets of Holland. That's awesome. Cool, Tony.
Yeah. And then I didn't realize what started off was Surfer 50 was the first kind of gimmick with the foils.
Was that what started them?
I looked it up. I'm like, so then I'm like, a few months ago, I was like, I got to go get that one. Then like, I grew up in the 90s. I got to have the first gimmick with that. So I'm like, so I hunted that down and tried to find a good one for the Silver Surfer 50.
I'm sure you could find it. I'm sure they're in dollar bins. I feel like I've seen them. See, Alan Crabtree, if you could write a new big bad, how would they be? If you could write a new big bad, how would they be? So like a new villain?
A new big bad.
Be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I don't know.
It'd have to be somebody super psychotic like Carnage or something if I came up with them.
I would probably someone who would have mental games. Like I love a big strong baddie, but if he can like come out with like mentally tough too, those are hard to beat. Those like that's why Thanos was so good. Like he was also mentally there as well as physically, and
he always had some sort of plan. He was always on a mission. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, what do you got coming up? You got anything cool coming up that you want to talk about? What are you working on as far as like artwork? Are you doing are you open for commissions? Are you accepting commissions if anybody wanted to have
like I'm always like if I was somebody would like to talk about it, they want themselves on a cover, or maybe I've done them on a cover, they were surprised by it, or if they want that, like that's what I'll do. I can do a cover ones, commissions. I've done one before the Two Brothers. I've done they wanted a new face image on their thing. So if you've ever seen their image, I did that one for them. And
very cool.
But I love doing the cover one. The covers are fun. Those really are enjoyable to do, and try to merge pieces of the cover together to match up. And so I'm always looking. So if you find yourself being shopped, as some people are saying, getting shopped, you'll show up with a little hashtag shopverse next to your shout out sometimes. So
yeah, absolutely, guys. And I'll throw it up here. I'll throw up the one that he did for me. You can check it out. Visit Shop for Comics on Instagram for details on your original Shopverse art. So if you're interested, you heard it here. He can take care of you. Just hit him up on IG. Always super responsive. Great dude. Obviously, that's why he's here tonight.
Always have little different files and folders of different things. So like the first first 100, I guess, all saved, and Procreate's a great app for art and stuff, and so
very cool. That is very cool.
There's one I just did. That's one I shared with you. That comic background with not quite the Shopverse body image, but like sometimes I'll try more like artistic body images too. So we'll see how those turn out. And
yeah, actually, I used that on the thumbnail. Is that the same one that's on this thumbnail right here?
Yeah, that's the same one I sent. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's very cool. Yeah. And he did all the ones in the background. Just tons of cool characters. So, a bunch.
I've got a lot of backlog of videos I haven't put some videos out lately, but I should go through and like just set a time frame for all these to come out, because I've got some really videos of books that I was happy to pick up. And so
yeah, dude, you should post them. But yeah, Hoot shared the link, so there's the link right there. If you guys aren't following, please go follow Shop. Awesome dude, and he's open for commissions and do some really cool stuff for you. Thank you, Hoot, for sharing that, man. And thanks for coming out this evening, guys. See, Tony said, I've been shopped 4 times. It was wonderful. Hashtag Spaceball. So did you do Tony a Spaceballs character?
No, I wonder if that's a hint to do a Spaceball for him.
Oh,
I did him as who did he? Oh, he won one of my contests. I did a contest for 4th of July last summer for the Greatest American Hero. I said, I said, comment below, and he won that one. And then He was Tarantula, and
Tarantula. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that one.
And then he asked me to do a commission for him and Dr. Van Hoot as Hogan and a Macho Man. So he was Hogan for that one.
I do remember seeing that one as well. Yeah, that one turned out really good.
Yeah, thanks.
What's up, Pops? Pops joining us. What's up, Lorenzo? Indie Comics and Reviews. Thank you for joining us, Pops. Let's see. Thought I saw somebody else pop in. Just my Pops. Thanks for popping in, Pops.
Hey, he's my Luke Cage.
Yeah. You actually did Lorenzo as Luke Cage. Yeah. That one was one of my favorite ones, actually. That's really cool. It turned out really good. Oh, here we go. Tony was saying, no, it was a reference to the girl from Spaceballs.
I could put you that giant helmet. That'd be kind of a funny look with.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty funny. Like the big ass comb. The combing the desert. That's the only thing I remember from that movie is the scene where they have the giant comb and they're combing through the sand.
Combing the sand, yep.
Yeah. So, let's see. Got anything else you want to talk about? Well, we got 4 more minutes left. Got anything coming up?
Oh no, I threw this up on IG the other day. I dipped my toes in a lot of different things. I try to like the artwork, and I threw myself into a story one time. So
hold on, let me blow you up here.
I did a chapter book a few years ago for like a different version of a story. So that was a fun thing.
You worked on this book yourself?
Yep.
And it's called Max Baker, the Non-Magic Maker. I did not know this shop. How are we just now finding this out?
Say I don't promote myself very well. So like this was something I did a while back when I was in a summer camp for kids, and we would always have downtime, and then I would just like write a little story part, and just once I kind of maybe my ADHD part, I just kind of focused on one thing for a little while and went through that.
Now,
and
where are those available? Where can we find copies of that? Because I have a feeling a lot of people in the community would want a copy.
Amazon. I went through their self-publishing company that they have.
Okay.
I went through that, and so it's about like a teenager. The Marcus getting shot tonight.
I know, that's what I was laughing at. I was like, what would that consist of?
Yeah.
Maybe we don't want to know.
No.
Don't answer. But you were saying it was about what now? I'm sorry.
It's a story like this kid turns 13. His family has no magic, but they live in a world that's all magic. So they use science. So when he turns 13, he finds out this huge secret about his family being these just scientists that like they can deal with magic through their brain, through their learning, through everything they come up with scientifically and stuff like that. So then they go on he creates friends, goes on an adventure with a few things. So just a different take kind of on the magic thing that, well, I don't have any. So how can I like deal with the things around me?
And who did the artwork on? You did the artwork and everything?
I just did I found a background cover I did the artwork there, but it's like the middle grade books.
Oh, okay.
That are more story. So each chapter kind of has its own story, but they all tie together with each other and stuff. So,
man, dude, I'm going to have to go look for that. Okay. Write this down. What was the name of the book again?
Max Baker, the Non-Magic Maker.
Okay, Max Baker, the Non-Magic
Maker. I like things that rhyme.
Yeah, it works, man. That is a great title. It's a great it's catchy and you can remember it. So yeah, that's a good title. Wow. That's a big surprise. I did not know that you had a book.
And I've been working on the second one for years. As I said, this one's been done since I think 2017. So
with the second, you got a second book in the works?
I've been working on a second one. I'm stuck on a few things, but it's a different take on the sunken city of Atlantis. So it's a different take on that with the same story with these kids and stuff. So
that would be fun. And he said Amazon, so we could find it on Amazon.
Yep.
And I think Hoot is actually sharing a link here. So thank you so much, Hoot. You're the man, dude. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, dude, if you guys want to check out the book, man, please go pick it up. It'd be supporting an awesome person who usually supports everybody else in the community. So I think it's only right that we support him.
It just, yeah, I'm just a weird, like, self-promotion is always weird for me. Like, I want to promote, but then I'm like, well, I don't feel like it's just it's just not natural to kind of like try to
so many people around you though, man. Like, we want to know, we want to support you, man. We want to support you. So yeah, dude, I'm gonna grab a copy of it. So I'm gonna be heading to Amazon tomorrow when I get my paycheck. Pick up a copy myself. Let's see. Every now and then I remember I'm a mod. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's hard. Yeah, being a mod is always like, oh, that's right, I'm one of those. So
well, dude, man, it's been a lot of fun. I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with us this week. I know you don't normally do this type of stuff, so that's what makes me even more grateful that you're here with us tonight.
Yes, thank you. So it's been fun, and like I said, hopping on every once in a while is just getting my face out there. Like, yeah, I actually have a face, and people can see who I am and talk and get to know a few more people. And just I'm okay being tiny and small, just as long as the people like you and other people out there just good to connect with. It's just been amazing and accepting and everything. So
it really is. It's a great community.
Oh yeah.
We got a last minute question from Kyle. He asked, "Are you a Star Trek or Star Wars fan?"
That's tough. I'm huge. Star Wars. I remember going to the Revenge of the Jedi when I was a kid, live in the theater. I think I was 8 or 7 at the time. So I'll say Star Wars, but I've watched tons of Star Trek. Like, I love the Next Generation with Jean-Luc Picard.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I think, I saw most of that whole series in the 90s, and I'll go Star Wars, but Star Trek is very close knocking on the door there.
Okay. Well, you heard it here.
Yeah.
Wellbore says, with great power. Thanks for joining us, guys. And dude, Shop, man, you've been awesome. Guys, if you aren't already following Shop for Comics on IG, please head over, hit that follow button, and support this amazing community artist who's always supporting everybody else. And yeah, dude, thanks again, Shop. I really appreciate you hanging out with us this week.
No problem. Thank you.
It's really been a pleasure, man. It really has.
Thanks. Thank you, Chad, too. I'm not good reading chat, but I've been trying to catch up with everybody there.
Oh yeah, man. They've kept the chat going the whole time.
Oh yeah.
The chat has been awesome. Thank you so much to you guys that came out to support. I really appreciate you guys so much. Can't tell you how much it means to me when you guys show up week in and week out. It really does mean a lot. And for any of you guys catching the replay, that means a lot too. It helps with my watch time. It helps with the channel. It helps get me closer to the goals that I want to achieve. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate you guys. The next couple weeks, we got some good shows. Next week, we're going to have an open panel. So if you've ever wanted to hop on before and you've never had a chance, hop on. I'll send out the link. I'll put it on IG or private message me, and I'll send it to you that way. And you can hop on and hang out next week. And hopefully we have a full house, awesome people. It's going to be, you could come on and just gripe about whatever you want to gripe about, complain about anything you want to complain about. We'll just have a fun time just griping about stuff, or just anything you want to talk about. Open discussion, whatever, anything goes. Just come hang out. The week after that, Black Box Comics. Awesome comic book indie imprint. So the next 2 weeks are going to be an awesome show. So I hope to see you guys there. Right now, we got Council of Comics, I think, is still going. And then 22 Comics will be going live in 25 minutes with his top 10 alternatives. So be sure to check that out.
Fun.
Yeah, those are always fun. It's one of my favorite live streams. If you guys never check that out, that's on 22 Comics at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So about 26 minutes from now. And Council of Comics is going right now at Cliff NY's channel. But I appreciate you guys. We'll leave you how we always do with some Biggie Jack. And if I can find it, where did my overlay go? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I found it. But I'll see you guys next week. Later, y'all.
I'd say that one is a banger, man. It's a real certified banger, dude.